Everything you see here is rendered in the Void engine, designed to create atmospheric and exploration-rich spaces. To reach our target, Vice Overseer Byrne, we've got to get past a Grand Guard checkpoint sealed off by a wall of light, a cruel security device reinstated by the Duke of Serkonos.
Orders from the Duke. We're losing too many people. Good soldiers blinded by that hallucinogenic powder the Howlers used, then stabbed to death or dragged down by the Abbey's hounds. One young lieutenant got hit by an Overseer grenade, and that was it. He was one of the Duke's distant cousins or something.
Shit. Let's hope they do enough damage to each other so the fight goes out of them.
That won't happen until someone manages to kill either Paulo or Vice Overseer.
We've made much greater use of vertical space for Dishonored 2, encouraging players to explore the rooftops above the streets.
Dust out of my ears.
Dust from the mines.
The storm alters visibility for the AI and for the player. A random storm hits and Emily comments on it. Many of the security devices in Dishonored 2 are powered by wind, a unique feature of Karnaca, so here we're switching off the windmill to get through the wall of light. There'll be a lot going on in this next fight. Drop attack, guards climbing and vaulting, combat choke, and Emily using far reach to pull an explosive whale oil tank toward her from a distance.
You aren't going in! You're so dead! Let... Here's the rope for you! Hey, you! Come here!
All right, let's jump forward closer to our target, Vice Overseer Byrne. The Overseers are fighting the Howler Gang for the hearts and minds of the people of Karnaca. What happens here will influence Karnaca's future and the endgames.
The Vice Overseer hasn't shared his plans with me. He's upstairs now, so I assume we'll learn something before long.
Here we're going to use Emily's Mesmerize power to lull a group of Overseers into a stupor, evading combat altogether. Mesmerized, they won't notice Emily or even remember that she was here.
There you are. I feel so empty right now.
Far Reach can be upgraded not only to pull objects from a distance, but also enemies, so you can finish them off in mid-air. This time, all of Emily's powers, which are new, and all of Corvo's can be fully upgraded using entirely new skill trees, giving you the ability to customize more deeply. If you're new to the Dishonored series, it's all about options and exploration, playing at your own pace. The game has many different pathways through each mission, and also different approaches, stealth or combat, lethal or non-lethal, and a wide array of supernatural powers that will dramatically change the experience as you play. We're very close to Vice Overseer Byrne's office now.
Of the oracular order, I've seen it, and I feel it in my bones.
So this stalemate with the Howlers must be resolved.
Vern is giving a briefing using a projector. We're going to plant a stun mine and then link several of the overseers with Emily's domino power, so that whatever happens to one of them will happen to all of them. They share the same fate.
Died trying to bring power. We suffered fatal injuries. Somehow he comes back the next day to fight again. Whatever witchcraft he has.
Switching off the projector will attract Vice Overseer Byrne's attention, and when the mine affects one overseer, it will affect all of them.
Go check, brother.
Right away.
There are many creative ways to use domino. Now we're going to show you Shadow Walk, another key power for Emily. Over, we're working with Daniel Licht, who was the composer for the series on television called Dexter. He did the music for some of the Hellraiser. Enough to work with him on Dishonored 1. He's a total pro, and we're working with him on Dishonored 2 as well. And something you pointed out earlier when we were briefly discussing this is how dynamic the music is. If you're sneaking, it changes. If you're fighting, if you're starting to lose the fight, it changes. If you're in a more atmospheric spot or you're just absorbing the environment, it changes. So the music is a very dynamic system, and Daniel Licht composes so that all these pieces fit together and can be reconfigured on the fly by the code. What you're seeing here is, wow, yeah, this is a bloodfly swarm, and Corvo has just possessed one of the bloodflies and is flying along.
Oh, so no rats, but bloodflies this time.
Well, we have some rats too.
Oh. So, probably the most noticeable thing about this game is that you have two playable characters, right? You have Corvo and you have Emily, who's now 25, I believe. And you get to choose them at the start of the game. So, does the gameplay vastly differ depending on who you play, or is it just their abilities?
Well, you go through the same missions either way, just to be clear about that. It's not that we made two sets of missions. The missions in Dishonored are crazy over the top. Like, you can go through the window, go through the back alley, go through the front door, possess a fish, and swim in the river. You can kill lots of people or literally complete the game without killing anyone. We've used a lot more vertical space this time. The missions are larger. Each one has like an urban area at the start of it for you to explore side content. There's a lot of effort put into the lore and the visual storytelling. Like, you can walk into a room and infer what's going on in the room. So there's already a ton of variation. You can play 10 times and never see the same thing. That said, Corvo and Emily are different people, and other characters react to them differently, and their backgrounds are very different, so their commentary on the world changes based on who you're playing.
Well, I know that in game one, depending on if you were, bloodthirsty or if you're very passive, it actually changed the way that people interacted with you. Do people interact depending on if they'll help you or not, even if you aren't necessarily, if you're neutral, depending on if you're Emily or Corvo? Because Emily is the Empress who just got usurped, right? And Corvo is an assassin who almost was betrayed in the game one. So are there people more willing to help Emily or Corvo in this game?
It's more that how you play, either ghostly and avoiding killing and trying to find an alternate.
Come on, show yourself. We're all waiting for you. What?
This indicates the search protocol is on playback. When this plays, search is underway. Playback for detection registered. Accessing visual detection. Aristocratic profile, but hostile. Combat Protocol 8. System detached. Amplified. Switching to alternative tactical mode.
Here we're in the present, when the manor is in ruins. Now we've moved backwards, years into the past, when the manor was still inhabited and guarded. Looking through the lenses of the outsider's timepiece, you can see the alternate timeline. This is useful for solving puzzles, as you've seen, but it can also be used to avoid or take down enemies. You can watch enemies in the alternate timeline and then step through to execute your plans.